Hi guys, as you know, Christmas is just around the corner and it's time to start getting those Christmas recipes in. Today we are going to be making a Trini style pastel pie. This is not a pastel, but it's a pastel pie. It's going to be moist, loaded with flavor, even in layer, and so soft. To make our Trini style pastel pie, we are going to start off by making our filling, and I am adding 1 tablespoon of oil. To this I am adding 8 cloves of chopped garlic. I have a mixture of seasoning blend. I have pimento peppers, a little bit of ginger, a little bit of onion, and I also have 1 stick of green onion. I will leave the entire recipe in the description box. We're adding a teaspoon of fresh thyme and 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. And I will leave all the amounts down in the description box. We're going to cook out the acid from the tomato paste because it's very high in acid. After 5 minutes, this is what we look like. We're going to add our ground beef. And this is about 1 pound of ground beef. I'm going to get all the flavors nicely mixed in. Once the beef becomes brown just like this, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of tomato ketchup, or you can add a mixture of barbecue sauce with the tomato ketchup, but for me I like it a little bit on the sweet, tangy, salty, just a perfect balance. So if it's not enough for me, then I will add just about a teaspoon of honey, or you can add sugar to it, but I prefer honey. We have 1 teaspoon of Scotch bonnet hot sauce, and this is the one that is on my channel. And I'm looking for a nice juiciness, nice moisture, but not wet. To this I'm going to season with a little bit of black pepper because I already have my Scotch bonnet hot sauce in there. And I'm going to add just a little bit of salt because the capers also have salt, and this is to taste. And you might want to add the capers first and the olives before you add the salt, but I've been making this recipe for a long time, so I have an idea how much salt to add. I have some chopped capers. I don't like my capers whole. If you like the capers whole, you can go ahead, but I have 1/2 cup of chopped capers. I'm using green olives, and this is my favorite type of olives. You can use your favorite type of olives, so I'm using 1/2 cup of chopped olives. Raisins, I am using 1/2 cup of raisins, and these are Thompson raisins. To turn the oil into sauce, and not just oil, I am adding 1 tablespoon of water. So we're tasting for salt, and then we're gonna adjust the salt accordingly. To make our corn dough, I have 1 cup of water, and I'm adding 1/2 tablespoon of vegetable Maggi, and this is how I'm going to season it. And I'm going to use this to make a nice broth. I'm just going to add 1 tablespoon, and this is going to be a vegetable broth that I'm going to use. I'm adding 1/2 tablespoon of granulated garlic. To this I am adding a teaspoon of granulated sugar, and we're going to give it a nice gentle mix. I'm adding just a pinch of salt because the bouillon has salt, and this pinch is to balance the flavor. So right here, this is where I'm going to create a well. And I'm adding 1/2 cup of melted butter into this. If I need more, then I will add accordingly. So I am adding the vegetable broth, 1 cup. So that's 1.5 cups of liquid. we're going to start mixing it up to make it into a nice soft dough. Right here I'm going to add 1/4 cup of milk. This is a good consistency, and I've added another 1/4 cup of melted butter. So I use it 3/4 cup of melted butter. I don't want it to be too firm. I want it to be nice and soft because it's going to firm up as it goes in the oven. Still kind of wet. This is not a pastel, it's a pastel pie. I have my casserole dish, and I'm not going to grease this because the dough already has enough butter. And we're going to add some of our dough, half of it, and we're going to spread it, and we're going to bring it up to this size just a little bit. So we have some nice raised edges, nice and even. And what I like to do, I know it's out of pastel tradition, I like to put a little bit of cheese to help it to stick, just a little sprinkle, because I don't want it to break apart or slide apart when I put it out of the oven and I'm serving it. Now I'm going to go in with that filling. And we're going to press it into the mold. I like to add a little bit of cheese to help it stick again. Not a lot of cheese, just a little bit. And we're going to add our topping onto this. We have a beautiful layer, so we're going to sprinkle, and I like to use white cheese, and this is just my personal preference. Whatever cheese you use is totally up to you. I'm just using about 1 cup of cheese. And I'm just going to garnish with a little bit of herbs. We are going to steam bake this in the oven for 1 hour. So I'm going to cover it over tight with some foil. We're going to place it into a deeper dish that can fit. And we're going to add half of it in hot water. And this is going to create good steam, and it's going to steam our pastel. You can use any deep dish, and you can use a cover, or you can cover it over with foil, an extra layer of foil. So we're going to bake this at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 45 minutes, and then we're going to bake it off for another 15, just until it gets a nice golden brown. Our pastel pie is done. I didn't allow it to brown anymore because it was just looking too pretty to spoil. We're going to allow this to cool down for about half an hour, and then we're going to dig it. After 20 minutes, each slice should come out looking just like this. You can cut this into any size and it won't break apart. It's so juicy, has a beautiful crumb, and totally enjoyable. Let's cut into our pastel pie. You can see the texture and you already know how it tastes. If you enjoyed making pastel pies with me today, give the video a thumbs up, a subscribe, share the video, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend, and see you in the next recipe.